Hello, my name is Yolanda Reyes, and for the MESA Professional Development Program, I designed an optical spectrometer called Xiuhtecuhtli. This instrument is used to survey the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum. With this device, I'm able to collect data on many things such as air pollution. Here we have spectral images graphed by intensity of light on the y-axis and the wavelength of that light on the x. We have data from two California cities, Sacramento and Los Angeles. Observing the green channels of these two locations, a very visible difference in Sacramento between 525 and 565 nanometers is present. What chemical elements are responsible for the peak and trough we see? What chemical elements in Los Angeles atmosphere contribute to the reduction of wavelengths observed? Here is Xiuhtecuhtli with tomatillo flower petals affixed to the lens. As an urban farmer, knowing where to plant a crop is key to its survival. Here, we have spectral data of a white cactus flower on top and sunlight from the same day on bottom. Collected about a minute apart, we can see reduced data in the red and blue channels between 430 to about 575 nanometers. This has led me to question and experiment with growing plants in different wavelengths of light. In this aspect of my MESA Professional Development Program, I'm hoping to learn more about the hardiness of plants. With Xiuhtecuhtli nested inside Chantico, we come to the fluorescence spectroscopy part of my project. In this configuration, users gain the capability of detecting petroleum oil in samples of water and soil. But let's take a journey inside to see from the spectrometer's perspective. Here, a sample of mineral oil is used to show a baseline of what happens with the laser. When we take that same laser and apply a 10W30 motor oil sample, we can see bright fluorescence. In a tar ball dissolved in mineral oil, that same fluorescence is also observed. The higher concentration of petroleum oil in a sample leads to more fluorescence observed. In this clip, we see the laser light interacting with a sample from Folsom Lake. For my project, I collected water from 4 different locations in the Sacramento watershed. I was hoping to answer several questions such as, are there any waterways not contaminated with petroleum oil in my community? Does petroleum contamination vary throughout the year in a particular location? With Project Echo Water coming fully online in the next few years, one of the main goals of this part of the project was to track contamination before and after the improvement to our local water supply around Sacramento. In Clarksburg, at the public boat launch, downstream from where water that is treated meets the Sacramento River, I found one of my best locations. In my travels, I can't help but bring a few empty vials in case there is a location I can collect from, such as Goldbug Mine and the Happy Valley located between Santa Cruz and the foothills of California's Sierra Nevadas. I also collected tap water from various locations to compare the quality of a utility's water supply. Whoa, that's pretty bright. The runoff in Happy Valley was one of the brightest fluorescent samples I collected. Here at Miner's Ravine, we can see a very prominent fluorescing line right through the top of our sample. I ordered these video clips of water collection from the least bright to the most bright. I also observed a decrease in the pollution of all locations starting in the fall to winter months of the year. Strap Ravine was one of the most consistently polluted locations I tracked throughout the year. This is evident by the consistent quality of light emitted from the laser interacting with a water sample.